And we're back as promised with what might be the final episode of the Astrologaster game. Let's see what the stars have in store for us today.
Mary oft takes her young niece to the cockfighting pits. She prefers a hanging, though she readily admits, viewed after drinking turnip wine until she's off her farm. La 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 la.
Good morrow, Mistress Payne. It has been quite some time since I last saw you. Did you ever hear from the Archbishop? I recall your husband was intending to write to him, expressing your concerns about the Continentals.
Aye, we did write, but he never replied. Not that I am surprised, mind you, as they do say that Archbishop Whitgift is a very idle man, not to speak of the unsavoury goings-on within the walls of Lambeth Palace. They say that in the great dining hall the Archbishop and his guests do feast and carouse from dusk till dawn, and 'tis said that in some of the palace rooms they indulge in fornication and sodomitical sins.
Verily, indeed. Then, doubtless that leaves him very little time to reply to every...
Truly, methinks being surrounded by such decadence and corruption of the flesh is likely to have made the Archbishop very hard. Aye, bearing witness to so much vice would make a man very hard indeed. Hard, Dr. Forman? Insensible to the needs and difficulties of ordinary folk such as you and I. Verily, I do not wonder that such a hard man gave me no satisfaction. Which is why I am come to you this day, Dr. Forman.
Oh my God.
Something did trouble me last night, and I would have you tell me what it might have been.
I will if I can, madam. Prithee, describe it to me.
Well, at first was the noise of a boat that did awaken me. I got up out of bed and went to the window to see what was. As you know, on 4th Street we are right by the banks of the Thames. In the moonlight, I could just make out a ferry crossing the river, loaded up with large barrels.
And you thought it suspicious?
Aye, indeed, for the hour was very late and the boat's lamp was not lit. I did not wake Mr. Payne to ask his opinion, for, in truth, he has told me he wishes to hear no more about the things I see from our window. So, I am come to you, for I can have no rest until I know who those men were and what they were doing. Who knows what foul deeds may be afoot in Lambeth Town? Mayhap the men I saw were Catholic spies, engaging in some manner of nefarious plot against the realm.
Then let us see. What does God have to say regarding this boat you saw crossing the Thames last night? Was it some kind of elaborate Catholic plot, or is there a more likely explanation?
Not something we know anything about as far as I am aware. 3 options. I saw a boat crossing the Thames in the dead of night. Are they Catholic plotters? I'm assuming they're some smugglers of some sort. House of the Querent, this suggests unpleasantness and delusion. Mistress Payne is unpleasant and delusional. Okay, but maybe don't tell her that though. House of Children, this represents an unhappy woman, Mary Payne. She is unhappy with her children. They are doubtless grown up and are now neglecting her. House of Legacy represents transformation. Mistress Payne wants to change the world. That is the legacy she intends to leave. Not sure what this has no relation to the boat crossing, so yeah. What do we have here? A house of possessions, such as untrustworthiness. The goods on the boat was transporting were of questionable provenance. Yes, okay. That doesn't really reveal anything. House of friendship, then. This represents authority. The information should be reported to the authorities. Ideally, a friend or acquaintance with some connection to them. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. House of ambitions. This suggests faithfulness in reverse and constraint in reverse. The ambitions of disloyal, untamed forces are at play here. And House of journeys indicates evil. The boat journey was undertaken for evil purposes. So this is a more complicated way of saying the same as B, where this one is probably just the questionable provenance. Yeah, and then we have here is where we suggest that it's probably what she thinks it is, which is Catholic. And she should report it. None of these are going to be what she wants to hear. I mean, this is probably, but it's not going to end well for her, I think. Like, she's not going to... I don't know. We'll try, see.
You did well to come to me, Mistress Payne. The stars confirm that the events you witnessed last night do indeed portend of doings of a most foul and sinister nature. I will pass your information on to one of my querents, whom I may not name, but who is a member of Her Majesty's Secret Service and reports directly to Her Majesty's Privy Council.
I knew I could rely upon you, Dr. Forman. You and I doing such important work together. We make quite the team, do we not?
I would not say that precisely.
Do not be falsely modest, Dr. Forman. False modesty is naught but the sin of vanity in disguise. Now, I must to home hasten to tell my neighbours. Forsooth, I must warn them of this grave threat and bid them keep a watchful eye on our local Catholics. Blessed day, Dr. Forman.
Forsooth. Alright, I thought we were about to have some coitus post-consultatio, but not today, I suppose. Mary Payne, the querent, did wish to know whether a boat crossing the Thames in the middle of night was part of some Catholic plot against the realm. I did tell the client that I would pass her information on to the relevant authorities. Note to self, tell Christopher Malove. Who? Methinks the querent was pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Christopher Malove. I don't think that's someone we know. Is it? No. Huh. At least not. I mean, we must have other querents than these 12 people, or however many are near 13. Surely we are only reading or seeing the actually interesting stories in Simon Forman's life. There must be more patients than these over the years. This game has taken over. Well, we can see here. Mary Payne, 15 and 94, where it was Avis Allen in 92. Oh, wait, hold on. Mary Payne, yes. Oh, 1601, yeah. So the game had taken place at this point over, 9 years? Yeah. So there must be more querents than these. Anyway, I shall tell my neighbors. Dr. Forman and I are relaying information to Her Majesty's Privy Council. Oh, please don't. Oh, please don't.
Hear ye, hear ye. Catholic terror plot to blow up Parliament foiled. Gunpowder barrels discovered in cellar. Hear ye.
Ah, this is what she was talking about. Interesting. Anyway, disturbing reports just in from Westminster that barrels of gunpowder were discovered in a cellar under the Houses of Parliament late last night. Sources indicate that this gunpowder plot was a Catholic conspiracy led by Robert Catesby and assisted by a continental by the name of Guido Fawkes. Of course. Let me see. Remember, the 5th of November. The gunpowder treason and blood plot. This did not happen on the 5th of November, though. July is far off. Huh. Well, I'm not a history buff in that sense, so I don't know how much historic relevance the V movie has, but I thought it was a real event, and this apparently did not take place on the 5th of November in this case. Who knows?
'Tis well to jest at Mary Payne, 'tis well to sneer and mock, until her views become the norm, then 'twill be quite a shock. But for now let's laugh at her and how her niece laughs. How her niece laughs, la 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 la.
Good day, Mistress Payne. You seem in good cheer.
That I am, Dr. Forman. This day I am taking my niece on a lovely outing to see the cockfighting in Vauxhall.
Ah, there is a cockpit in Vauxhall now, is there?
Aye, and a very fine one. And I did think we need a nice day out to turn our minds away from that terrible affair of the Catholics plotting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And my niece does so love the cocks.
Doubtless, madam. And the gunpowder plot was indeed a terrible business.
They say it was the doings of a group of young Catholic nobles from the Midlands, do they not? And that the gunpowder was ferried across the Thames at Lambeth under cover of darkness. Doubtless, 'twas the very same boat I did tell you about, Dr. Forman. And of course, I must congratulate you for recognizing how right I was to be suspicious of that boat I saw. Now, I bid you tell me, and do not be coy, Dr. Forman, was it your relaying of my information to the authorities that foiled the gunpowder plot? Did you and I save England from the Catholics?
I am afraid, madam, that I am not at liberty to confirm nor deny my involvement in the matter.
Ah, but oh my days! Are you ill, Dr. Forman? Mayhap we are both troubled with the same disease, for my eyes do also twitch and prick with pain.
I did remark the condition of your eyes. They are very red in appearance, and you seem troubled with a hacking cough. For how long have you had these troubles?
Only these past few days, and as well as my eyes and my cough, I do also find it a trifle vexing to breathe.
Then let us now consult the stars. What ails Mistress Mary Payne?
My eyes itch, I cough, and I find it hard to breathe. What ails me? Finally here, medical problem again. Alright. Let's see here. Aries rule of the eyes. This indicates the illness would get worse before it gets better. The current is suffering from bloodshot eyes, a condition characterized by red, itchy eyes. Okay. Gemini ruler of the lungs. This is just the illness is temporary. The current's lungs have been harmed by inhalation of noxious odors. Could be, I suppose. Scorpio, ruler of the reproductive system. This indicates a psychological factor. The current is suffering from the green sickness, a disease that can provoke a short-windedness owing to a build-up of venereal frustration. She eyes itch, she coughs, and she finds it hard to breathe. That could be the lungs, then inhalation of noxious odors. Eyes itch, cough, and I find it hard to breathe. Okay, this could be such a thing as her husband's maybe smoking too much pipe, or maybe too many people at the cockfighting pits are smoking, and yeah, there's just so much foul air in the air. Foul smoke in the air. This indicates illness will get worse before it gets better. Rule of the eyes, bloodshot eyes. It could be this one too. I don't think we are over here by the green sickness. I'll go for the lungs, because it's definitely related. And that would explain it. By inhalation of noxious odors. At least that it usually gives all of these different symptoms. So I would say yes, Gemini ruler of the lungs.
Madam, your symptoms are occasioned by noxious odours. Most likely you did lately inhale a large volume of smoke. Mayhap your chimney requires cleaning.
Indeed it does not, Dr. Forman. My cleanliness is unimpeachable. I have my maidservant scour the house from top to bottom every day.
Then I cannot be sure what has occasioned your... Hold. What is that acrid odour? Methinks it does emanate from your clothing. Madam, have you been taking part in the anti-Catholic pogroms that Lambeth has witnessed these past days? The burning of houses and shops, the lynching of priests from trees upon Lambeth Green.
Mayhap I have, and what of it? You should be congratulating me and my ilk for keeping you safe, and for sending a clear message to those Catholics who would plot against our Parliament and blow us up with gunpowder.
Madam, these Catholics are our neighbours, our colleagues, and our friends. I beseech you to consider your actions, madam. Are not Catholics people too, just as we are? If you prick them, do they not bleed?
Aye, and their flesh does burn the same and all. I fear I do not follow your reasoning, Dr. Forman.
Are they not subject to the same diseases, healed by the same cures as we are? And if not cured, then... Alas, taken so soon, so needlessly. I did never have the chance to... Oh, my sweet Avis, can you ever forgive me?
Is something the matter with you, Dr. Forman? On my honour, you do seem most troubled. Mayhap you should be going to consult with a doctor yourself. God keep you well, Dr. Forman. Blessed day.
All right, so she burns people, and that's why she's now sick herself. All right, then. The courier did present with a cough, difficulty breathing, and irritation of the eyes. I did diagnose inhalation of noxious odors. Methinks the courier was pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Well, okay. She didn't seem pleased, but whatever. We got the letter of recommendation. Sweet. Mayhap we make a list of which shops and taverns are Catholic-owned. Methinks our actions could be a trifle more organized. Yeah, let's organize the burning of people's houses.
Hear ye!
Oh no.
London struck by plague. Playhouses closed by order of the king. Hear ye!
Oh god, alright. Another stroke of the plague. We be advised that if you are experience anything of the following plague symptoms: fever, abdominal pain, lumps on your groin oozing with foul pus, then send word to the local authorities and a team of carpenters will be dispatched to your place of residence to board up your house so that you may not roam about infecting others. Please ensure dead loved ones are ready to be deposited in the plague cart when it passes each evening. Corpses deposited on the street outside of collection hours will incur a fine of 1 shilling. Wow, alright. Just like the corona plague, right? Similar situation.
Save us, Almighty Lord. Save us from the wrath of God. Upon us he hath wrought his vengeance, and justice, pestilence, and death.
Indeed. Go fix the plague, please.
God give you good day, your grace. How fare you this...
Know you whether the plague will reach as far as Lambeth? Have you seen it in the stars?
Ah, the plague that has begun to spread throughout London. Rest assured, your grace, if the plague does indeed reach Lambeth, the people of Lambeth will have me, Doctor Simon Forman, at their service. My renowned strong water cure will doubtless be required.
I bid you, read the stars for me now. Will or will it not reach Lambeth?
Of course, as it pleases your grace. Let us see what the stars have to say. Will the London plague reach beyond the city walls to Lambeth?
Well, it probably will. House of Rumors, this represents being out of touch with reality. The rumors of the plague reaching Lambeth are not credible. The House of God's Punishment, this represents death. Death from the plague is God's punishment for our sins. House of Known Enemies, this advises patience. The Archbishop has nothing to fear from the plague. He has but to exercise patience and the threat will pass. House of Duties, this advises war. It is the Archbishop's duty to stay in Lambeth and help fight the plague. Okay, that seems reasonable. House of Friendships, this indicates calm and extreme unpredictability. Lambeth society may be peaceful now, but can behave unpredictably during a grave health crisis. This seems reasonable, yeah. House of Travel, the Archbishop must embark on a voyage. I think this is the one that would be best for him. And so that makes sense for us to give him that advice so that he may grant me a medical license.
Ah, yes. The stars are most clear on the matter. Very clear indeed.
Then what do they say? Tell me!
Well, before I give you my answer, I would have your decision on granting me that medical license we spoke of on your previous visits. I am sorry, Your Grace, but I must insist upon it.
I would gladly do so, but I find my hands tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal...
As always.
As I see you are determined not to let the matter rest, I will speak true. Some years ago, the Queen's physician, Dr. Richard Smith, did write me a letter on behalf of the College of Physicians. He warned me in the strongest terms against granting you a medical license. So you see, I cannot grant you a license without raising the ire of the College of Physicians.
But...
Now, Dr. Forman. Doubtless you are thinking that a man of my position, one of the most powerful men in England, should not be so easily put off by such a letter. However, and methinks you know this from your own experience, the college is a terrifying organization that will stop at nothing to get their way. One would be better off defying the Queen herself than the licensed doctors of London. For whilst our Lord God in heaven may be merciful, the College of Physicians is not.
Aye, verily, I must own that what you say is very true.
But mayhap I will furnish you with a letter of recommendation to the University of Cambridge. They may confer upon you a medical degree, and thereby a medical license.
I thank you, Your Grace.
Now, prithee, answer my question.
I have bad news, Your Grace. Lambeth will not escape the plague this time. Things are quiet now, but as I learned during the plague of '92, events may change apace. You must leave Lambeth before it's too late.
I feared as much. I must begin preparations for the removal of the palace household to Sussex.
Before you go, Your Grace, I believe you were intending to write me a letter of recommendation.
Well, indeed, I will reflect on the quality of advice you have given me over the years, and if I judge that you have acted with some skill, then I will have my new chaplain, Lancelot Moore, draft you a letter of recommendation and have it sent to you. Good day, Dr. Forman.
I wonder if Simon will die during this plague. That would be a way to end the story. Anyway, John Whitgift, the querent, did wish to know whether the plague, which has lately begun to spread throughout London, will reach as far as Lambeth. I did inform the querent that the plague would reach Lambeth soon, and I advised him to leave while he still can. Methinks the querent is most pleased with me for the reading I gave this day, and this is the final time we see John Whitgift. I will deliver a sermon on the lessons we might learn from Noah and the flood. Alright. Mail. From John Cowell, Vice-Chancellor, University of Cambridge. Okay. Sir, I thank you for your recent submission of several letters of recommendation. I am pleased to inform you that these letters, being of sufficient quality and number, have credited towards the obtention of a medical degree. Please find enclosed your license to practice medicine. Finally.
Forman gained a license to everyone's surprise. A true and proper doctor at last legitimized. But now he's risen up so far from whence he began. Will we common folk still see Forman as our man?
Good question.
You cannot board up my house! 'Tis not a plague house! You are mistaken! I do not have the plague! Let me out of here! Know you not who I am, you fools? I am Simon Forman, Doctor of Astrology and Physic! Fie upon those ungrateful wretches! Have I not always been there for them when they needed me? Am I not the doctor who risked his life to cure them during the plague of '92, when all the other doctors and their high-born friends fled London and left them to die? Indeed, mayhap next time I will think again before risking my life in the service of the townsfolk, if this is the way I'm to be repaid. And forsooth, if my deeds are so easily forgotten by the living, what chance is there for my work to be remembered by generations to come? What will the world know of me once I'm gone?
Is this a question we're supposed to answer? No. Well, a computer game will be made about your life, Simon. Maybe we can tell him that. House of Hidden Motives. This represents a well-mannered lady, a violent event, and quietness. This speaks of quiet violence exacted by genteel women with hidden motives. House of hidden valuables. This represents psychoses. I will be remembered for having given something valuable to a psychopath to hide somewhere. Forsooth, how strange. Whatever could that be? A potion comprised of costly ingredients. Valuable to a psychopath to hide somewhere. How strange. Whatever could that be? A potion comprised of costly ingredients. Doesn't ring a bell with me. House of legal confrontations. This represents combat. My name will be mentioned in court during a famous legal battle. This does not seem correct. House of legacy. This advises patience. It will be a long time before my ingenious contributions are properly recognized by historians. Okay. And House of Good Angels, this represents a trustworthy authority and death and intelligence. Good angels will ensure the manner of my death serves as a testament to the intelligence, accuracy, and soundness of my methods as an authority in the field of astrological science. And House of Relationship with Quirins, this represents a voyage. My relationship with myself will change when I embark upon a voyage. To wit, my death will occur whilst traveling. I think we'll take this one. This one is a good way to end the story, I think.
What does this say? I will die while on a voyage. But I never go on voyages. Unless taking a boat across the Thames counts as such. I believe I have just predicted the manner of my own death. Well then, I had better note that down in my casebook, so that after my death 'twill be clear how truthful and accurate my astrological predictions verily are. For indeed, 'tis sure that after my death my casebooks will be pored over and studied with great interest. For my work is of great historical importance, and now that I have a medical license, not even the College of Physicians has the power to discredit me. But if I am to go forth into the world to make any further contributions to the advancement of medical science, I must find a way to pry these wretched boards off my front door. William! William! Fetch me a crowbar!
We still have William around. It's been a while since we heard about him. I did wish to know how I would be remembered in years to come. I did predict the manner of my own demise, and I will be crossing the Thames in a boat. If you be a historian reading this, pray take careful note. Oh.
Long ago in England in 1592, there begins our tale, and all of it is true. Through all of London, bubonic plague did spread, covering folk in weeping sores and leaving thousands dead.
From towns and cities, doctors they did flee, leaving their patients to die in misery.
But one brave doctor stayed when all the cowards fled. Might have been because he was too sick to leave his bed.
Forman made a plague cure and used it on himself, then left his house to restore London's true health.
Huzzah! 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 Huzzah!
Simon Forman, he cured us of the plague, 'tis true.
Some details are a little vague, if he rises up too high from whence he began, will be common folk still see Forman as a man. Simon Forman,
Huge as of the plate, his bruise
some details are a little vague, but we know he knows astrology and knows his astral water, so won't it be the old not a proper licensed doctor?
Doctor! Based on a true and truly ridiculous story. I didn't know that. I didn't know that this was based on a true story. So apparently, Simon Forman was a true, like a person that existed in history. Huh. Well, I'm a little bit surprised about the abrupt ending. Like, we didn't actually get to see how he died or how his story ended, but I'm assuming that we probably predicted it accurately. And so, if Simon Forman was a real person, I think, if anything, he might have been actually doing good medical work in his time. And apparently someone actually poured over his astrology books, like he said, like his casebook, like he said they would, which is interesting. And I suspect he did well, but not because of astrology. I don't believe in astrology personally, but he, as we see throughout the story here, Simon is actually a learned man with a good and logical mind, so he's able to read in the stars what is true. Well, what is true, because he interprets things and then tells people what he like. The medical doctor part of him makes him see in the stars what is actually the case, and so he can do good medical work, even though he's hiding behind astrology as his major way of getting diagnoses done. I suspect that would be the case. Apparently, this is something you might have to go and research yourself, and you can learn more about it. I might even Google him a little bit and see what I learn. But for now, this has been the end of Astrologer, a really interesting game, and I was happy that I played it to the end. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and if you end up playing it yourself, hopefully you have as much fun with it as I did here. Thank you all for watching. See you around, guys, and bye-bye.